slay, oh. If you don't slay on your knees, you're on your own in this journey that is called marriage. So welcome back to my corner. So if you're coming for the first time, my name is Che, and this is my channel. Just do well and subscribe and join the family. It's free of charge, and leave us a good comment concerning what we are discussing, okay? So guys, today your girl is here to share the 10 things I learned in my 3 years of marriage. Marriage is an eye-opener, let me put it this way. Yes, I used to hear people say that love is blind, but marriage will open your eye, like deliver you from that blindness. That's what it is. So you don't need to be married forever to learn things. 1 year is enough. In fact, within the first 6 months, you started learning. Like the real thing has started folding, and the realities of marriage will start hitting you. And your girl was not left out. Guys, number one thing that hits me and I was so amazed was the fact that men take things literally. You know, before now you think they are mind readers. Like when I say something, I expect my husband to understand what I meant, but unfortunately he take it to the letter. Like, you said this and that is what it is. Like, for instance, you might be angry and you'll be like, okay, leave, just go away, go. You will be surprised that the man will stand up and wear his shirt and wants to go. I had to start talking to myself, like, to learn the other way of communication, not expecting him to know what is on my mind, okay? So that was the first thing I learned in my marriage, that men take things so literal, just the way you said it. If you tell them, oh, you don't love me again, the man will believe, oh, so all these things I've been doing are not enough to convince you that I love you, stuff like that. But guys, that's not what we meant. What will tell you that you don't love us again, what we actually meant is, we don't feel loved at that moment. Like, you are not loving us at that particular point. You know that you don't really love us, guys. Please, I apologize on behalf of all the women out there. I know you people must have seen us in different shades. That's not what we mean. Stop taking us literally, okay? So that's number one. It won't always be my way. You are now a team, okay? So don't expect things to always go your way. Oh, this is how I love it. Oh, this is how I want to do it. Oh, this is how I've been doing it. Yes, especially from that angle. This is how I've been doing it. Coming together is always difficult. There's always that friction. But I've learned so far on how to make it work. That is not always my way. So sometimes I step back, okay, and give him a chance. How do you want us to do it? Even when it's something that everybody will feel is solely for women to decide, I will always shift back and tell my husband, okay, sweetie, how do we want us to do it? Surprisingly, his opinion are always ideal and easier. You know, women, we like projects. If that thing is not hard, we don't feel like we've done something. But men, they will always have that critical approach, bam, and that thing will be handled and settled. Like magic, honestly. So I've been enjoying this since I learned this. No matter what the situation is, once it presents itself, I'm presenting it to hubby. How do we handle this? And I've been having my peace of mind since then. So the things I think of are now less, okay? So it's not always going to be your way in marriage. We all know that there's no template for marriage. And why do I say this? Before I got married, I have role models. It's normal. Like, you have people you admire, you have people you look up to. Oh, this is a wonderful couple, this is a wonderful family. Hey, I wish when I get married, me and my husband will have this kind of time, we'll be doing this kind of thing. Okay? When you get married, you understand that your marriage is unique on its own. In fact, if you have the grace of God, it won't even take you time to adjust to you and your own marriage, because there's no template. You can't say because you worked for family A, it will work for you. No. The first thing I learned in marriage so far is that he's not always going to make you happy. Yes, that same man that has been professing his love, doing everything for you, like he doesn't even wake up, breakfast is ready. Sometimes you'll be asking yourself, am I not the woman in the house again? Am I not the one that's supposed to be cooking? Laundry is done. Like, so helpful. Can be annoying sometimes. Like sometimes. In fact, there can be big babies sometimes. Let me just put it that way. I have to count it because it's a big deal for me. I was thinking, I'm the type that so believed, yes, life is not a bed of roses, but I so believe that marriage should work. That marriage should give you that ease from life pressures. You get that when you are out there facing whatever it is for the day, you come back home to a peaceful and loving arms. But it's not always like that. Like, I learned it in marriage, and I am glad to share it with you guys. He will not always make you happy. There's ups and downs. There are moments of happiness and moments of sadness. Of course, you don't expect a man that just had a bad day at work to come back and throwing roses to you. No. So it has its own ups and downs, and you just have to flow with the moment and learn how to manage yourself and your home and your man in different moods. Okay, number 5, the 15 I've learned so far is that it's not good to remove yourself from the list. What do I mean by this? You know, most times, because you just got married, you get carried away with your responsibilities as a wife and soon to be mom and a sister-in-law and a big sis. Okay, so you can get overwhelmed with all those new portfolios they are giving you from your wedding day, and you forget yourself. At a point, I discovered that it has always been about my husband, about my baby that is on the way, about my in-laws, about my siblings, about, you know, you're always putting other people first before you. And I sat down, I was like, come on, when was the last time you bought yourself a pair of shoes? Because I'm a shoe freak, I buy shoes more than I buy clothes. And I saw my rack diminishing, and I was like, what is happening? Checks, what is happening? Like, what is happening? Is this your life now? The implication is this. I'm not saying it's bad though, but the implication is this. When you don't feel good, you can't give good. You can't give love. You can't, as in, it becomes a burden. Showing love becomes a burden. That's just it. So you got to feel good for yourself. Put yourself on the list. That your hair, put it on the list. Your monthly expenses. Because when you feel good, you can now radiate it around yourself. So it's not good to remove yourself on the list. I've tried it didn't work for me, and I learned it. Okay, so now your girl is on the list. The 6th thing I learned in my marriage so far is that it's not good to take decisions alone. Coming from someone who is in a distance relationship, because my husband and I, we are in different states, it was easy for me to wake up in the morning, take decisions for myself and for the family sometimes without even telling my husband. So it continued for some time until he started complaining. Initially, I find it so weird because what I'm doing is still for our own good. But at a point, I had to sit back and reason the whole thing, you know, and put myself in his shoes. What am I making him to feel like? You get? Even though you are alone, somebody is in your life, so distance shouldn't be a barrier. So I had to start learning on how to be in a long distance relationship. In fact, that's a story for another day. That one will be a separate video. How to manage in a long distance relationship. So it took me time to learn, but I'm glad I learned it. And everything is okay now. We're on the same page and everything is flowing the way it should. Another thing I learned so far in my marriage is that being angry with your spouse is a punishment to yourself. Like, I've learned that anytime I am angry with my husband, I suffer it more. First off, you know, women, we always want the man to know that he offends us without us talking. We wish he would read our mind, read our moods, read all our body language, and add everything together and know where he has offended and start apologizing. So this is one of the things that I really took time to learn in marriage. That most times when I'm angry, I suffer it more. I might be angry and I will not even eat. He will want me to eat. What is the problem? I will not say it because I really wish he knew. In my mind, I will be like, don't you know what you did? Don't you know what this one, that one? And in all honesty, he doesn't know. And I kept on suffering myself until one day I called myself, babe, that's so you go die, you. That's why you go suffer die, you. This guy don't know. So these days, when he offends me, I speak up and we table it, we talk about it, we handle it, and we move on. The eighth thing I learned in marriage is that prayer is everything. If you don't talk to God about everything, the nitty-gritty of your marriage, you will see it as a burden, literally. That's the truth. So try to communicate with God. Get him integrated in your marriage through prayer. So no matter how you slay, if you don't slay on your knees, you're on your own in this journey that is called marriage. So that is one thing I've learned. Even though I have a wonderful relationship with my God before going in, I was carried away with the honeymoon phase until something happened, which I will share in my subsequent videos, that called me back on my knees. And I had to re-identify myself, okay? And re-identify my roots and start making use of my privilege as a child of God. So prayer is everything in marriage. That's one of the things I learned in marriage so far. Don't joke with it, okay? If not, Satan will mess you up big time. You won't even know where your week is again. Then the final thing I've learned in my marriage so far is that marriage has seasons. Yes, marriage has seasons. There are moments that two of you will be down. This one, I'm not talking about one person being down and the other person lifting the other one. Moments when two of you will be hit so hard that two of you are at your lowest. I've been there, okay? And that is when you really know that prayer and God is everything in marriage. That is when God will take over. That is when God nurtures the two of you, heal your wound, bandages you, bring you up again, and energize you again, and you continue the next day. And I've got my own share of it, which I will also share in another video, because I don't want my videos to be long so that my audience can easily relate and watch it to the end, okay? So guys, this year will be ending this video. If you've learned something from it, or if you are entertained from my lessons in my marriage so far, please just give us a thumbs up and just say it on the comment section, okay? And don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and always come back for more. Just hit the notification bell. I drop videos every Tuesdays and Fridays. I love you guys like always, and see you in my next video. Bye.